you guys have seen a refresher Doom in a game as opposed to like 2 years ago, right?
I mean, the Dooms of 2 years ago got ridiculously farmed.
Yeah. And there's no reason that you can't get his farm though with that Devour.
Are you kidding me? You've got to be kidding. I actually.
Hey, Mott. Yeah. Sorry, what was that? What was that, bro?
Oh, we're gonna see how potent the Mirana Bane combo is.
Yeah, they're gonna do great. They're gonna do great with it.
There's mana burn.
So, yeah, you get Diffusal Blade and you have the level 20 mana burn. I mean,
I'm actually done.
Come on, bro.
Remaining.
All right. So,
I think they lose though, so it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
The last pick.
Oh, that's pretty sick. Yeah.
That's Medusa. A good last pick here. So now you have a silence. Amazing against the Morphling. You have basically guaranteed insurance policy that Medusa wins the mid lane now with that extra damage. And you've got some nasty push. I like it. It's going to be a tough game for Infamous, I think.
Who does Doom cast Doom on in this game? It doesn't, like, you can't really Doom Sand King because Sand King's going to get his spells off first. Shadow Demon's going to be in the back. I guess Beastmaster, but I don't know. None of these targets seem very good to Doom.
You're absolutely right.
I don't know.
There isn't really an ideal target. I guess catching the Beastmaster before he ults is best. Probably just dropping it on Medusa to try to lock her down in a fight. Like, you can drop it on Medusa before she can Stone Gaze.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool, but
you have to assume she's going Linken's this game, right? Or maybe not.
I have a fair bit to break it, but it could still be a good Linken's cure. All right. Well, gang. Game 2, Infamous versus EG, our final series here on DreamLeague 2. It's been an honor and a pleasure. Sunsfran and Brax will now take it away and soothe your hearts with fine Dota 2 commentary.
Thank you for the great segue, Zyori. Sunsfan here with Braximus the Maximus. That's going to be a thing, by the way. It's happening. Don't fight it.
Okay, Sunsfran.
Thank you. What is a Sunsfran exactly?
I don't know.
What was he thinking of to confuse? I think he was trying to say friends. And it turned to Sunsfran.
Sunsfrans.
Something like that. All right. While we wait, we can look at the cosmetics. If Mod is doing camera, I do believe. If you can zoom in on Doom's face, this is the ugliest Doom helmet in the game. Just so you guys know.
DC helmet?
No, there's no DC Doom set.
Okay, just making sure.
I would never allow something so ugly to be made.
It's not that bad, is it?
Look at that's like a kill me face. You know what I mean when I say that? You know those little comics where somebody's just really ugly and they're like, just kill me. That's what this is.
Okay. Do you want him to look super friendly as he's going to kill his enemies?
I'm not saying he needs to be friend. He's depressed because of how ugly his face is. That's what I'm trying to say.
But
that does not sound like Doom. You saying there's no mirrors in the Dota world?
Do you see any?
I mean, there was a Terrorblade in the last game. That's reflection. Okay. At the very least, that's a mirror.
Not in this game. He's clear.
There's Shadow Demon illusions. Huh?
All right, you're pissing
me off. What do you think about that? He's going to see two of his faces.
He has to look away from the Stone Gaze.
That's true. That's a good point. But that's the thing. He has an uglier face than Medusa. Shouldn't he have that ability with that cosmetic?
That's a good point, actually.
Exactly. Thank you. Anywho, back to the actual game. This is game 2 of a best of 3 between EG and Infamous. EG won game 1 in a ridiculously stomp fashion. But Infamous, of course, looking to even it up, or else they're out of the major.
That's right, and they don't want to be out.
I think that's safe to say.
Yep.
Maybe not always, but in this case, definitely the case. Look at Arteezy's cape. He's got the golden cape. I believe that's going to be the golden gust to come. So something for you guys to look forward to in this game. Papita, is he actually looking for an arrow? Looks like EG's just going to give it up. So Infamous will take 3 bounty runes.
Very nice.
And we do get to see another Morphling. So let's theorycraft the Morphling again. Always a lot of fun. Okay. So for the enemy, I'll do my version, you do yours. I mean, Burrow Strike's got to be top of the list of best skills you can get.
Definitely. There's some wonky things he can do, like he can become the Drow Ranger and give his teammates the aura.
Oof. Universe, he's just going to TP out. Yeah, that's true. Didn't think about that. What else? What do you like?
Well, if he's low on mana, he can always turn into Medusa and throw out some Mystic Snakes.
And that's true. Top lane Burrow Strike fears here as well with the right clicks. Will it be enough to take him out? The last one from Crit is enough. First blood the way of EG.
Isn't that so sad that Doom can die to that with Scorched Earth just because he has 0 armor?
No.
Yeah, it is sad.
Like, any other offlaner would not die to that, I feel like.
Did he have Fairy Fire the whole time?
No, he just bought it.
Oh, he just bought it
as he died.
Okay. Gonna say, that definitely would have helped him live. But not to be, unfortunately for him, as he's just going to be resigned to this top lane in the trees, leeching experience. And obviously without Devour, as of yet, he won't be able to use it in the jungle or anything to that effect. As looks like Pepita will take out Sumail in the mid lane. Gracious me.
Very nice.
He's just going to run away from Crit as well. Burrow Strike will apply, though. He has some damage, but it's not going to be enough to actually kill Mirana.
I missed that mid lane. I guess they just clicked him down, huh? To use those leaps to keep autoing him.
I mean, they have the setup. We talked about this. You know? Oh, you're right. They don't have the setup like we talked about, Brax.
That's right.
And in fact, he goes for Enfeeble. So, trying to win this lane from a CS department, I guess, is the goal here for Infamous. We'll see how that ends up working for them.
You know, I feel like Bane is one of the better heroes against Medusa because typically you can't kill her, but you can reduce her damage, and she doesn't build these high damaging items. She builds a lot of stat-based items to tank up, so when you have level 4 Enfeeble, she probably deals 0 damage.
That's a good point. Of course, you do have Drow on your team, though, so that'll mitigate a little bit of that effectiveness from Infamous' side, at least. But, yeah, I always fear the Medusa mids when there's a Drow in the game. Just feel like a lot of the shortcomings of the heroes are kind of lost. Call them null and void with the Drow on your team, mitigating or giving you that damage.
I know what you mean. She's already so tanky, but she doesn't deal that much damage when you toss in a Drow there, and then she does it all, it feels like.
Top lane, there's the shards blocking in Universe. He's completely surrounded, and Morphling will take that kill for himself, but here comes Fear. Along with Crit, they get the Burrow Strike onto Schofield. That's going to be an easy one. And the Soul Catcher is applied to the Morphling right now. And Burrow Strike's up in 1 second. They could potentially get this kill. Fear, another Soul Catcher available. And Universe has come back into the lane, right-clicking the Bane, but there's the Ice Shards again into the Brain Sap. He's just going to die again. He literally TP'd back to death.
All right, now he has to make the long walk of shame back down there.
That is the walk of shame.
There's no worse feeling than that in Dota.
Yeah, for sure. And Pepita in the mid lane, 12-7 versus Sumail's 13-7, so doing quite well for himself. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Excel again in a fight for the right as Fear takes him out with the right click. Crit, though. Might be the trade. Looks like they'll do a 1-for-1. Another Ice Shard available here. But without Waveform, I don't think they can find a kill. Does have a couple wand charges, though. He's shifting. But more than tanking enough for those level 1 wild axes.
Yep, they do almost no damage now.
Well, the good news is Old Stinger is level 3 now. He's able to devour some creeps. Looks like he took the Satyr, so we'll be getting that unholy aura, 5.5 regen a second. Bottom lane, Disruption, into the Soul Catcher, into the Axes, into the Burrow Strike. Not quite enough to take out Schofield, at least not yet. Another Axes in tow, but again, level 1, not going to be enough to find a kill.
So this aggro lane from EG is not really working out. Morphling, 29 last hits, and 2 kills to his name as well. And he's also level 5 compared to Universe's 3. Like, they can't stay down here much longer. I mean, as I say, that Sand King's going towards the mid lane, but I guess he can't really do a whole lot. Arrow coming in. That's a long stun.
Yeah, it does definitely connects. Enfeebles there as well, but crit, Burrow Strike, he's taking a lot of damage with that Starstorm. Pepita with 1 leap. Make it 2, but the wand keeps crit alive a little bit longer, and in fact, it looks like he'll live through the night. As Pepita has to pop a Fairy Fire. Looks like Shadow Demon died in the bot lane. And Sumail's going to force Bane back even further. Now, the one thing to keep in mind, despite this bottom lane kind of being lost for EG, they do have the disruption factor, which deals a lot of damage to Morphling, which we've seen a little bit of so far this game. And he's going to waveform in the bot lane. He's going to be caught, though. Soul Catcher into the disruption. And with that extra damage, look at how much damage he actually takes. Gonna try to turn it around, though. He is dying very slowly but surely. It's all calculated, my friend. He's actually been snowballed in. We'll see if this ends up being a mistake or not. There's a TP support coming in. Waveform is available. He's going to use it. Getting quite low. There's a Brain Step onto Universe. EG kind of spreading the damage, so very good in their favor. As Morphling will still live some way, somehow. And again, has Waveform available if needed. Yeah, this hero is so hard to kill.
He brings out salves as well, and morphs all the way down to 0 in strength or whatever, and then full heals every time.
Yeah, pretty nice. If only they do have vision of him, but they have no global skills, unfortunately for them. So the health salve will come out and pretty much heal him right away. But the tri-lane continues for EG. They're not giving up. Not yet, at least.
Well, at least their Drow is free farming. She's 1v1 against the Doom. Level 7 now, so there is that. And Medusa's having a good time in the mid lane. It's just this bottom lane.
And Disruption again, being very annoying. In fact, turning them on to Tusk instead this time around. Probably a better choice. As Morphling is super duper tanky. But yeah, mid lane, like you said, 32 and 15 versus 28 and 12. So an essential wash. I'm a little bit surprised we haven't seen Bane come back into the mid lane to try to extend their lead in that lane at least. But bottom lane will continue. The Tusk snowball into the arrow, into the Starstorm. Fear's in quite a bit of trouble, but he will walk away again. Lots of kills, somehow. Just not being able to be finished off here.
Huh.
Sumail. Yes?
I'm just surprised he didn't die.
Oh, yeah.
That was a smoke rotation from Infamous too to make plays down there. They were unsuccessful.
Crit being scouted out. Looks like old Stinger has Doom available, but the Sandstorm is there in time. At what level? It's level 20 Mirana gets the mana break. So that, just to paint you guys a picture, as looks like Universe is going to run away in the bot lane. Level 10 talent for Weaver, who gets 2 attacks because of Geminate, has a 20 mana break skill at level 10. For Mirana, it's 25 mana break at 20. I don't understand. I really don't.
Yes. It's just how it is. You know, Timbersaw gets 100 damage at 15.
It's a little different. Come on now.
It is.
Come on now, buddy.
It is.
Moonlight Shadow. This is going to be the first of the game. We'll see if they can actually capitalize with Doom available. But Sentry is there.
Yep, that was just as the Sand King was placing a ward behind the tier 1 tower too, so they know what's going on.
And just like that, it is thwarted with ease by EG. Crit with the level 2 Burrow Strike ready to go. He's spotted out though by the enemy team. Doesn't look like they care as the Burrow Strike is applied. Gust onto the Bane. Can't really cast anything while that's applied. He is, and Crit's in a lot of trouble. He's going to be chased down with his Scorched Earth. Looks like he will end up... No, he's going to end up juking for now, as Fear takes a little bit of residual damage in the backside. Crit staying alive just a little bit longer, but with Schofield here, you have to think that this will be an easy cleanup for Infamous, and they'll try to turn this into a potential tier 1 tower here in the top lane.
Yep, nicely done. So even though the rotation was spotted, they're still able to make something happen, perhaps underestimating how tanky Doom is. You know, this year when he gets levels, he pressures lanes big time. Mid lane Kotar, he waves in, but he's going to get disrupted. Oh boy. Can he actually catch him though?
Crit. Level 2 burrow. Oh, he's getting blocked. Big time. Big time block right there.
Very sad.
Be hard to find the range regardless. And the tier 1 tower bottom looks to be falling. It'll be a trade though. Although Doom actually wants to. He's going to get roared. He has absolutely no backup to speak of. Gust to follow. And they should have more than enough damage to take him out. So, bit of a mistake there from Infamous as Morphling will be scouted out. Still very hard to kill. Nice waveform dodging the Burrow Strike. But here comes the Shadow Demon. Again, crit just in time with the Sandstorm. The silence is pretty powerful, but Morphling is super tanky as per norm. And we'll be fine. Yeah. You need the Doom if you're going to play against Morphling, it seems.
Pretty much. Oh, I guess that's space, though. Sumail takes mid tower pretty much for free.
Yeah, see if he gets it, or the Siege. Oh, he got it. He did it.
He has outplayed the AI.
It's hard to do these days. The AI is super strong. A very early Shadow Blade for Arteezy. Is this a potential Silver Edge game? I don't think so.
No,
doesn't
definitely
look like
not. Just the Shadow Blade to stay alive and do things. So this game is it's a bit weird. It's only a 1k gold lead for EG after they've taken, what is it, one more tower than Infamous. So the difference is basically in tower gold. Morphling is pretty farmed. Excuse me. Draw's pretty farmed as well, but I don't know. The game seems so weird because Beastmaster didn't get too much in the offlane. Even the Doom got more. And he was basically solo the entire time. But, you know, when you look at EG's lineup, all it takes is like 1 or 2 fights for them to get the ball rolling, so they can steamroll some fights.
Oh god, they get the Gust, they get the Roar, onto Doom, just like you said. The initiation was there, and just like that, they can probably turn this into a Roshan for themselves.
Yep, snowballing super hard.
Speaking of snowballing, they'll find Fear. And the tier 1 tower looks to be dead. But it'll be a trade for Roche, and I think EG will take this.
Yeah, but that's so fast. You can have an Alpha Wolf creep thanks to the Beastmaster's Call of the Wild.
Oh yeah, the RNG, man. You gotta love it. Well, Schofield being scouted by Crit, as it looks like Bane will be dropped by Arteezy. Has the Aegis ready to go. Pepita in the top lane. Trying to split push to a high degree. Might be able to take the tier 2 out, but no. Fear is here in time. Just hit level 5. Universe, no Roar. But at the very least, it'll be enough to force the Mirana back. Sumail, in the meantime, has Mask of Madness. Early point booster. The value item.
That's right.
I assume that's just going to be a straight-up Scotty.
Yeah, it looks like it.
Oh, bottom lane, though. Arteezy. There's the Gust. Not sure if they're going to have enough damage. With the Burrow Strike, it could be, but of course, he can cast that attribute shift while stunned. In the meantime, top lane, we have the Roar onto Pepita into the Centaur Stomp, but he's got 3 leaps and a TP. He's fine.
All right, he's gone. I
At
feel
least
like
3.
they're in some trouble when Sand King gets Blink Dagger on the side of Infamous. He's only at 1,000 gold for now, but even without it, they're still finding the openings. And like we saw before, all it takes is 1 pick to secure an objective. One pick gave him Roshan. 1 pick could lead to the death of all these towers as well. It's not an easy game for Infamous, and it's like, even though they get picks, they're nowhere near as fast to get the same sort of objectives.
Yeah, they're trying to set something up on the Morphling, but it's a very difficult kill. All they have to really work with is Gust to be able to do enough damage. They're going to start it off. Burrow Strike is coming soon, but he's going to attribute shift. Schofield's here to help his comrade out. Waveform available. Looks like he will live. Feel like we've seen this story 1,000 times with Morphling.
Just the unkillable man.
But do they care that much about him?
I don't think they do. I feel like they can just group up and run down a lane, and there's nothing Morphling can do about it. He doesn't want to sit there and fight him, so he's just going to go split push somewhere. And then EG had ridiculous tower damage. Like, look at how much damage Medusa has, and she has no real damage items, just small value items.
It's insane. I mean, the cool thing for EG is a lot of times when you want to play against a Morphling and try to counter him, you build like an Orchid or something like that. But in this game, you just pressure with tower kills. It's a different kind of counter, if you will.
Eventually, Morphling's going to have to respond to this sort of just tower pushing, and he'll have to fight. He might not be ready at that time.
Yeah. Well, at the very least, he'll have Lincolns in the next 100 gold or so. So we'll likely want to finish that off before getting into engagement, but they might not have a choice here. The Burrow Strike is there. Into the Soul Catcher. He's going to attribute Shift very high. Here roars onto Doom. We'll be able to get his Doom off in time. Looks like the Burrow Strike will find Universe this time around as the Ice Shards will split up the fight a bit. It's a 1-for-1 as Medusa's taken out, surprisingly enough. And with the Moonlight Shadow, we'll see if the rest of Infamous can get away. That, of course, was the Morphling Burrow Strike, setting things up here. Speaking of Burrow Strike, Crit uses his own to help get a second kill in the form of EG, in the favor of EG. So it ends up being a 3-for-1 with Arteezy staying alive with the Aegis. I'm not sure how Medusa died that fight. Did you catch that?
I think she got gripped by the Bane, right? Bane and Mirana killed him.
Oh yeah, the value mana drain, actually. A forgotten aspect of Fiend's Grip.
I forgot about the
stuff.
5% mana drain.
Yeah.
That's the difference there.
I think Ags increases it to like 10. It's pretty insane.
Radiant's top tower
Maybe that's their counter all
Oh wait,
along.
no. I'm sorry. That's the old Ags. I forgot they changed it to Brain Sap.
Radiant's top tower
Oh, that's right. The 3-second
Mobby.
brain sap cooldown or whatever it is now.
Yeah. Pretty ridiculous.
1.5, Jesus.
It sounds great. It's really not. Tier 2 tower now. Taking a beating from Arteezy. The Aegis still available, of course. Universe with the Roar. And Arteezy's just going to walk away with that Shadow Blade.
You know, I'm just not sure how Infamous can take these fights, because sure, they can snowball in or whatever, but if they snowball into the Stone Gaze or linger around a farm like this and get caught off guard, they're just gonna die.
Yeah, they're trying to take out Pepita right now. He has the leap. He's getting pretty slow thanks to Arteezy. He's stunned up with the arrow, though. Disruption's going to keep him alive for now. Old Stinger, applying a little bit of pressure, gets the stomp off. Has Doom available still. Haven't really seen a great use of that as of yet. Arteezy might want to feed his Aegis away pretty soon. We'll be going down to the Adaptive Strike. Here comes Sumail. Still has Stone Gaze available. But will get doomed just in time, though. Gets off his ultimate. That's going to be huge for them. They're going to pick off the Doom easily. The Gust onto the Morphling, and that is a second huge kill for EG. Nice timing from Sumail. Jesus.
Yep, nicely done. Gets it off right before the Doom. You know, Doom has received nerfs over the years. It takes a long time to cast.
He has to lift his arms.
I guess his arms are real heavy
the process
nowadays.
now. I mean, look at the armor on him.
That's true. But it's crazy to see how much like a small cast point nerf of an ability makes a difference in game. It becomes the difference between like people getting their BKBs off before Doom or just some defensive ability. Phase shift, for example.
Ooh. Gus just dodged there by Pepita. Would have been a kill in all likelihood. The Roar was available. But instead, looks like EG will posture for just a little bit more farm. Hurricane Pike almost finishes. Arteezy will get hit by the arrow. Do they have vision?
Sentries.
They sure do. And there's the punch. There's the waveform, and Arteezy's dead. Snowball to follow. Onto Fear. Has disruption. Might have to use it defensively. Pick up that rune before you die, my friend. There you go. That's a good boy. So 2 kills in the way of Infamous, and that's the kind of stuff you need to come back in this game.
Yep, definitely.
They're not really that far behind.
No, they're not far behind at all, but it feels like it just feels like EG are in control of the map, right? They're the ones making the moves on their side of the map, so that when they get that pick off, they can snowball it into a tower instead of Infamous always playing on their side of the map defensively. But Morphling's getting super farmed. He's got the casual Blade of Alacrity.
Wait, what is that? Why does he have a casual Blade of Alacrity?
I guess he wanted to build something else, and then he decided, oh, all right, what am I doing?
Well, we'll have to find out what he chooses to do with that as Sumail pops the ult. They did find Crit to start things off. And he turns into Medusa to turn on the mana shield. Kataru.
He's losing all his mana.
I feel like he should look a little bit differently. It's actually pretty confusing in fights sometimes, especially when it's a big team fight. I'm not sure what they can do about that, though. Of course, has that Lincoln's and going to be using the split shot to farm a little bit more effectively. So going the exact same build that we saw, other than the random Blade of Alacrity, the shotgun build to come.
This is just ridiculous. Since the Morph costs no mana, he can always just sit at full HP just off any heal. Even like a Warlock heal in lane would bring him up to full HP.
Yeah. What do you think his biggest shortcoming is as a hero? We've talked about how great he is on a lot of different levels, but what what can teams take advantage of?
He's definitely still abusable in lane. Like, you might not be able to kill him, but you can probably push him out. Actually, I don't know. Maybe you can't now, because he just morphs down and then salves.
Top lane, Arteezy. He's going to get gone on. They put down a sentry, but no dust, it seems like. Arrow is going to connect, and that should be enough to take out EG's Drow Ranger yet again. It's going to take a while, though. The universe was thinking about the roar, but will choose not to use it. Sumail gets slept, and with that, I believe Infamous will be happy. But what about like after the laning stage, like mid to late game?
I mean, I guess he lost that safe split push aspect, right? With the replicate from before, where he could go back to it. So now it's a bit different. Now it's a bit more offensive than, you know, split push style. But I don't know. It doesn't feel like a big deal, honestly. It feels like he's survivable enough with just the waveform, and the attribute shift is now faster than it was before.
I think that's the biggest deal out of anything is the attribute shift changes, right?
Yeah,
like you're talking about the split pushing being gone, but like we talk about how cool his ultimate is in theory, but how many games have we cast where it just doesn't feel like he's even used it?
Right, it doesn't feel like it's that.
It doesn't have that big of an impact
unless he manages to get like a 3-man Sand King stuff or something.
It's I don't want to call it situational because it can be good quite a bit, but it's perhaps less consistent than what we're used to seeing.
I would agree with that.
Crit. They have dust this time. Here comes the snowball. He's going to dodge it with the blink. And see if he attempts to TP out. Looks like Schofield will not find this one. Arteezy. Shadow bladed up. The Nightmare onto Fear's Illusion. Will do nothing. The scan comes out, so Infamous know that EG are in all likelihood doing Roche. Question is, can they do anything about it? Blink Dagger on Tusk.
You know, Doom's got a Crimson Guard. That's a pretty good item against these Drow lineups for tanking up.
Yeah, that's true. That is definitely true. So Roche at half HP. Uh-oh. Double Burrow Strike from Crit. There's the roar into Morphling. Kataro's in a lot of trouble. The Nightmare going to keep him alive a little bit longer. But no, the double kill for Sumail. A huge kill for EG. They should be able to get Roche, no problem. In fact, they might even get more kills on top of that. There's the Gust. Talked about the Crimson Guard. It is not going to be enough to survive this time around. And maybe they just push, actually. The arrow will connect, but Pepita not dealing out nearly enough damage right now. Went for the Dragon Lance and looking a little bit starved for farm.
Yep, check out. We've got the Soul Catcher illusion with the disruption on it, so now they have their own Morphling army. They deal 75% damage, by the way. That's pretty high.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Yeah, one of the best illusion heroes in the game for sure, because of all the stats you get from the typical builds that you will go. And I mean, this is just the racks. This is the crazy thing about EG's lineup. Any Drow lineup, for that matter. It's not like back in the day where you pick Drow and you need to have at least like 4 range heroes, or at least that's how it felt back in the day. Now it's just like, Drow plus, 1 is usually good enough. It's not like Fear's really doing that much in terms of the right clicks.
I feel like it just helps you win these lanes on heroes that are already pretty decent in lane, and that kind of pushes them over the edge. Like you see Puck with Drow quite often.
Yeah. Oh, they're scouting it out. They might need to go for this. Tusk snowballs in. The Nightmare's there. He's going to steal the Aegis. I'm not sure who the cheese went to.
He got the cheese too.
He got the cheese. What a god. But it's going to cost him at the very least the Aegis, if not more. Beastmaster will die. Medusa stuck inside the pit. Has Stone Gaze. We'll use it. And it's going to be on the Morphling, in fact. He's dealing a lot of damage to both Doom and Morphling as a result, but the Doom applied to Medusa. Sumail, he's taking a ton of damage with the Infernal Blade. Will finally be taken out. It'll be a trade, though, as Crit finally gets off Epicenter, but really to not much avail, as Fear and Company will try to turn onto the Morphling. The Tusk snowballing in onto Arteezy on the other side of the map. through the cliff. He pops the shrine. There's the dust into the ice shards. He is stuck, and the right click should suffice as Infamous. A freaking really good fight for them. Let's look at the fight recap real quick.
Wow.
2,500 gold swing in their favor.
That was quite an impressive Roche steal. He got Aegis and Cheese off that. Insane.
Pretty sick.
Keeping them in the game.
But Roche went to EG, I do believe, right? Because it was snatched. Yeah. Okay.
Right.
Not that it matters that much, but needed to be said. So yeah, perhaps a little bit greedy from EG. Going for, I mean, obviously you do go for Rax first, but to go for Roshan right after, instead of, technically they could have gone for the Shrine, but it's more of a good play than I think a negative one from EG. But Blink Dagger almost online now for Universe. Fear with the Force Staff. Crit with his own Force Staff. Lots of mobility on the side of EG. And then for Infamous, of course we talked about the Crimson Guard for Doom, but he has no way to catch up and actually cast Doom. Kind of the issue with this hero. Burrow Strike is here. He's at half HP. Into the Roar. The Nightmare will keep him alive a little bit longer. In fact, it might be enough.
He really is. Doing huge work.
Arrow connects on Fear, and the Starstorm should be able enough to take him out. Papita leaps away to safety. Burrow Strike's going to connect on Bane. But the right clicks excel. You are donezo, my friend. Sumail, with that Drow aura, is something to be feared. Top lane in the meantime, Kataru. Tier 3 tower taking quite a bit of damage. I've seen this split push before on Morphling. This is how Resolution did it at TI. That's right.
That's right.
Shrine's taken out. TP's here. Don't think they're going to be able to find anybody, though. Universe has enough for Blink Dagger as well. So
I'll take that.
So still awesome fight, obviously, in the Roche pit for Infamous, bringing them back in the game. But it's EG's game to lose, I feel like. They're setting the pace. They're setting the tone. Would you agree with that?
Yep, I couldn't agree more. Like, the Morphling feels so farmed, but I don't know. It's the Shadow Demon effect, right? He's not as effective as we're used to seeing in a lot of these games. Like the SD illusions, he's got to be careful getting disrupted. Also, the Soul Catcher helps them destroy him and cut through his health pool. It's not bad at all.
And we're going to have a smoke here. Arteezy. Finish the Silver Edge, by the way. We'll talk about that in a short minute here. Trying to find the Doom on the sidelines here. They're placing wards. That might be all they find, as the majority of Infamous are traversing towards the mid lane now.
Yep, the problem with the smoke gank is Infamous are going to have to go back. EG are playing around this pushed-in lane, so they actually have an objective to converge onto, and Infamous, they have to respond. And maybe they can use this opportunity to get to flank. Mirana has a double damager. Maybe she can come in from the back.
Yep, true. We are seeing the Shadow Demon illusions being used offensively now to siege down this tower ever so slightly. And Doom.
Oh my god, it dies so fast to the illusions.
Yeah, it's already at half HP. Pretty crazy. Sumail, extremely tanky. Actually backpacks his evasion for now, as looks like they'll find Bane on the backside. Tusk puts himself in a very precarious spot. Schofield's just dead. So 2 kills out of nowhere for EG. Of course, they do have buyback, and they're not the highest priority kills necessarily. But still. Sumail has this in his backpack. So the TP scroll or something, or even Aquila.
That's a good question.
Strange. Maybe he hasn't noticed, but fortifications popped. Kataru dodging the Mystic Snake. Actually, no, it'll still apply. Takes off the Lincolns. And his siege unit, aka Sumail, is just going to town on this bad boy. See the Enfeeble and how much damage he still does.
Yeah, and the illusions too. They'll start to deal damage whether he's enfeebled or not. That's a good, that was a pretty good response to the Bane enfeebling the Medusa. The Drow. Definitely helps a lot with that.
Yeah, for sure. There's the Roar initiation from Universe, and the right clicks will suffice. Oh, he's going to get Nightmared up a crit with the Epicenter initiation into the Stone Gaze. Of course, Sumail is still Nightmared on the backside, but that's a dead Bane, and that is no longer... Oh my god, Papita leaps in and eats the cheese. We'll be fine for now as the Doom is applied to crit. Force Staff onto Sumail. I think that was the wrong way. He gets Waller's Punch out, but a beautiful gust from Arteezy. They're going to clean up the Doom, no problem. Kataro Not a whole lot he can do in this situation as Universe jumps in with that big fat tomato. Pepita does not want ketchup this evening, my friends, but he will go down regardless. It really did. Universe for the win. As 3 dead for Infamous. And this is looking to be like the beginning of the end here. As EG, all right, they lose Sumail. So Qatar doing a lot of damage there, but he can get it. Burrow struck up. No tough snowball in time. And the last remaining member is Schofield. The illusion?
Yeah.
My God, they're going to make illusions of it. Oh my God, look at... Oh, that's disgusting. That is actually filthy. As GG's come out, so Infamous is eliminated from DreamLeague Season 8. The Major, of course. And EG will extend their lifespan. They're in the top 6 right now.